Shalom, 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 Israel. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son, Yahushua, with the Battle Axes of the Most High, coming to you with another Sabbath class. Shabbat shalom to brothers and sisters that are watching online. Shabbat shalom to brothers and sisters in class. The name of today's class is The Carpenters, Destroyers, and Builders. The Carpenters, Destroyers, and Builders. Like many times in many classes, like we say, as the Bible commands us, we want to make sure that we bring out scriptures to constantly keep brothers and sisters understanding what the goal is, what the mission is, to ignite spirits inside of brothers and sisters to keep building in this truth. In these last days, man, brothers and sisters see it online. You used to have many brothers and sisters that are drawing back, brothers that were fervent in the spirit. Even watching the other day, one of the brothers that I watched, now he doing a video. I forgot the brother name. Now he doing a video saying why he not a Hebrew Israelite no more. I know many brothers and sisters I've seen at YouTube, brother used to get a lot of views, man. Hundreds of thousands of views, man. The brother just fell off. Now he done reappeared out the truth, basically. Because guess what? He wasn't on a good foundation. A lot of times, brothers and sisters, when you come into the truth, you want to make sure that you stay on a good foundation, man. That foundation solidifies your growth in the truth. If you don't have it, man, you're nothing without it. Because then you can be tossed to and fro with other doctrines. So we kind of want to touch on this subject of builders and destroyers, going into the attributes of carpenters. Let's go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 12. Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 12. Before we get started, any brother, what captivity was Zechariah in? Raise your hand. Don't call it out. What you got, brother Judah? Persian and Mede captivity. So we given remember it's always historical context that goes behind it. This is going into what? Out of the Persian and Mede captivity. And we were commissioned by Cyrus to do what? Rebuild the wall and to rebuild the temple. Brothers and sisters want to make sure that you get familiar with that history. That's why we always kind of quiz brothers and sisters on naming the captivities in order. Because the more you understand the order of the captivities, when you're reading in context, you can kind of understand historical background. So these things are pivotal for your growth, even in the truth as well. Even when you break it down certain precepts, you understand the context, but you're also given a deeper spiritual meaning behind it. When you get there, read this off. Start up at 1 verse 1. Salaki.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 1. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, read on, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, the Lord had been sore displeased with your father.
And the Most High God was doing what? Getting on our people because he was displeased with them at the time. Like we say, understanding historical context, it was their job to do what? Ignite in our people to do what? Rebuild the temple. Which who destroyed? Who destroyed the temple? Any brother raise their hand. Who destroyed the temple? What you got, Brother Fred? No. That's why we tell brothers, understand the history, man. You don't see them hands going up when you ask a certain question. What you got, Ehud? Who?
70 AD?
No. Mm-mm. So if we talking about the Persian and Mede captivity and they rebuilding the temple, who destroyed it? So the destroyer did what? Came before that. So who's before the Persian and Mede captivity? What you got, a little bit of nine? Not that far. What you got? The Babylonians. That's why it's pivotal that brothers, y'all have to tune in and lock in, man. the Babylonians in 586 BC. So they're rebuilding what the Babylonians destroyed. Read that again, verse 2.
Zechariah chapter 1, verse 2. The Lord has been sore displeased with your fathers.
So he was displeased with them doing what? Putting off the work to do their own work. And that's a lot of times our brothers and sisters can get pulled out of the truth. They're not being a builder. They're not being a destroyer of doctrines. Because what are the attributes of a carpenter? A carpenter does what? And what else does he do? He breaks down. Thanks, I. Before a carpenter can build, he does what? He breaks down, but yes, that's true. He also builds a foundation. But you have to tear down anything else to get that foundation ready. So that's what our job is. That's why Christ was attributed to being what? A carpenter. Destroying doctrines and then doing what? Building back up, brothers and sisters, man. This is the mindset that we must have in this truth, man. Destroying Christianity and doing what? Building up brothers and sisters according to the word of the Most High. Read on,
verse 3. Therefore say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye unto me.
Do what?
Turn ye unto me.
And that's the Most High God calling and talking to us today. Turn ye unto him. Meaning what? All your personal business, we understand we got things to do, but we also got what? The Most High God's job to do. And his job comes before everything. That means doing what? Putting in time to do what? Keep high holy days. Brothers and sisters putting those things off. You can't do that, man. Because that's what? That's pivotal to your growth in the truth, man. Because what do you think we're going to be doing out there in the wilderness? These, the same things, the same righteous rehearsals, man. Read on up.
Turn ye unto me, said the Lord of hosts.
Read on.
And I will turn unto you, said the Lord of hosts.
So the Most High God said, if we deal with him, then he's going to what? He's going to deal with us, man. We must turn back to the Most High God, or you'll get instances where you see brothers that used to be strong and fervent in the spirit, now invite Edomites in, or now saying that they're not a Hebrew Israelite anymore. How in the hell can you not be your nationality anymore? And say, brothers have to make that make sense to me, man. I still don't understand it. We still don't understand that. Jump down to verse 12,
Verse 12. Then the angel of the Lord answered and said.
So an angel was sent to do what? To give Zechariah visions, prophecies. Read on up.
And said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem?
On who?
On Jerusalem.
Read on up.
And on the cities of Judah.
Read on.
Against which thou hast had indignation these 70 years.
These what up?
70 years.
I'm gonna see if brothers is paying attention. What number is that? What does that signify? Yes, y'all both were correct. How long we were in captivity under the Babylonians. So you see how these things are lining up. That's why it's pivotal that brothers read in context, understanding historical backgrounds. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 25. These things are pivotal, man. Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 11. So let's start up at verse 10.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 10.
Start at verse 9.
Verse 9. Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 9. Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, said the Lord.
Said who?
Said the Lord.
Read on up.
And Nebuchadnezzar.
And who?
And Nebuchadnezzar.
The ruler over who? The Babylonian captivity at this time. Read on.
The king of Babylon. My servant.
My what?
My servant.
What does that mean? Because the Christians are trying to get slick with that. Oh, it says that the Babylonians were God's servants. His servants to do what? To afflict us and to destroy us. That's right. Read on up.
And will bring them against this land and against the inhabitants thereof.
Against this land going into what? The land of who? Judah. Read on up.
And against the inhabitants thereof.
So not only was he going to use them to bring them against the land of Judah, but really being set up to be the new world superpower. Read on.
And against all these nations round about. And will utterly destroy them.
And will do what up?
And will utterly destroy them.
Read on up.
And make them an astonishment.
And make them an astonishment going into what? the curses. Read on up.
in an hissing and perpetual desolation.
Read on up.
Moreover, I would take from them the voice of mirth.
The voice of mirth is going into our ability to have a good time in our feast days. Entertainment. Read on up.
And the voice of gladness. The voice of the bridegroom.
Read on.
And the voice of the bride.
Going into marriages. Read on.
The sound of the millstone. And the light of the candle.
Our ability to make money. Read on up.
And this whole land shall be a desolation. And an astonishment.
Read on.
And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years.
70 what?
70 years.
Keep going.
Verse 12. And it shall come to pass when 70 years are accomplished that I will punish the king of Babylon.
Going into what? The Most High God is a merciful God, man. The nations can't even say that he ain't just, because he is giving all the races or nations what? Their time to rule. He's giving them a set time to rule, and they can't go past that moment. It's just like the waves. They can't go past it, man. But guess what? Ultimately, our rulership would be what? Eternal.
Right.
Read on up.
I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation.
And that nation, read on.
Said the Lord, for their iniquity.
For their what?
For their iniquity.
That's the mercy that most, and the love that he ultimately has for us. Yes, he put us in captivity for breaking his commandments. But guess what? The Most High God always judges those nations on our behalf. Brother said, well, why would he? Hey, that's the Most High. He do as he pleases, man. All praises that he's our God and we his people. Read on up.
For their iniquity, and the land of the Chaldeans will make it perpetual desolation.
Let's go back. Read verse 12 again, Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 12.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 12. Then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation these 70 years?
Now, yeah, some brothers kind of attribute this angel to who? To Christ. Because Christ does what? He speaks on our behalf to give us what? To give us mercy and to give us repentance. And we see that this angel is doing the same thing. Read this again, Adi. Read verse 12 again.
Then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation these 70 years? Verse 13. And the Lord answered the angel that talked with me with good words and comfortable words.
With good words and comfortable words. Meaning what? Breaking down the visions and understanding of the scriptures. Because guess what? The scriptures is what gives us comfort in this walk, man. Understanding who we are, what the Most High God requires of us, understanding where we used to be to now where we are today. Those should be comfortable words to brothers and sisters, man.
That's right.
Understanding that, guess what? We have a job to do, and guess what? We have to change into a new creature, man. And a lot of times, I'm gonna tell you, when brothers and sisters draw back, they fully ain't shook that old man or that old sister. They still dealing with things secretly, man. You got some more? Go ahead. Read on.
Verse 14. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Quiet thou, saying, Thus said the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem.
Read on.
And for Zion.
So he's jealous for Jerusalem and Zion. The Most High God never had no other nation in that type of admiration, man. You won't read about these things, man. That's why Christians do not like to what? Read the Old Testament. Read on up.
And for Zion with a great jealousy.
With a great jealousy, man. That thing is pivotal, man. Read on up.
And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
Because think about it. These heathens are at ease right now, man. Totally at ease. Because guess what? They have their foot on our necks. They have literally broken down God's people, man. But guess what? The Most High God is putting that spirit of carpentry back into us to do what? Build us back up. And to take that ability for us to then to build up other brothers and sisters. Read on up.
For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
Man, read that from the top again, verse 15.
Verse 15 from the top. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased.
So the Most High God was a little displeased with the heathen. Read on up.
And they helped forward the affliction.
And they helped forward the affliction. Meaning what? Alligator bait. Meaning he used the nations to punish us, but they kept doing more. Even like what Captain Yara said, they went overboard with it. Where did it tell you to make our babies alligator bait, or to sodomize the men, butt breaking, or to do all these types of atrocities that guess what, that are not recorded, to flood our towns, to do all type of atrocities to our people, man. They forward the affliction. Let me get a precept right quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 47:6. Let me get Ak here. Go ahead, Ak.
And like Ak is saying, man, when did the Lord ever tell the nations to break the law against us? And when did the Lord ever tell the nations that, hey, when did the Lord ever tell the nation, hey, you can make them eat pork? When did the Lord ever tell them, say, you know, they can, I want y'all to afflict them so bad that they'll never come back to me again. He ain't give them that power. He ain't give nobody license to sin. So you think the nation, that's why King David had told him, he said, man, what, did you not think it was cool to stretch forth your hands against God's anointed?
Right.
Right? Go ahead, Ak.
You get to read that, Ak.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 6. I was wroth with my people.
So God was pissed off with us, man. Read on up.
I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand.
Read on.
Thou didst show them no mercy.
And they didn't show us no mercy. Man, this specific instance, this is going to Jehud the Edomites. They damn sure ain't showed us no mercy. That's why we don't understand why our people are rooting for Israel. And we have to be careful about the language too. We have to be careful, because I ain't gonna lie, this thing flex my spirit, man. But that's the mindset of destroyed Negroes. They don't understand. That's why it's so pivotal to understand who we are, so you can know how to move in this world and in this society, man. Read that again from the top up.
Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
No what?
No mercy.
Read on now.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid the yoke.
And upon the ancients, we are the ancients, and they have very heavily laid the yoke, man. 400 and 500 years of slavery, 100 years of lynching, 60-some years of Jim Crow laws, and then guess what? Countless police shootings. Think about these things, man. Being served the worst food, being confined to the ghettos and to the slums, literally pitted against one another. Most High God is displeased at the heathens, man. That's why he has to put it in our spirit of, guess what? To build back our nation back up, man. To build us up for the kingdom. Let's go back. You got some up? Go ahead. Hey, go ahead.
And this is how you see that the Most High, a lot of people will say, well, if that's your God, then why your God letting them do that? Like, he's not upset with what they're doing. The Most High is pissed off. When you go back to Zechariah, he said he is not at ease with them at all. Well, we know when we go to 2 Maccabees 6:12, he shows you how he deals with us compared to how he deals with the other nations, right? With us, with a child, you don't let your child get all the way out of control, right? You go on and whoop your child butt right then and that's so they can learn from their mistakes. But he ain't whooping Esau them butt right now because they ain't learning. They not gonna learn from their mistakes right now. They go see it at the end game. That's gonna be the worst thing ever for them, man. So when he say he ain't at ease with them, man, the Lord is fighting for us on a daily, hourly, minute, second basis, man. He's always fighting for us. Even when you're going through your times, man, that's the Lord fighting for you. Showing you that, guess what? I'm showing you something for you to get out of this situation right now. I'm trying to build you up. I'm dealing with you as a son, like you say, or as a daughter. With the heathens, man, he letting all that build up, man. He's pissed off, man. He's not at ease with them. Go ahead.
Read verse 16 now.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 16. Therefore, thus said the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercy.
So we got to give all honor and praises for that, man. Even just on that scripture alone, because the Most High God is returning to us with mercies. We all need that, man. Like we said, if the Most High God is showing us mercy, who are we not to show brothers and sisters mercy? Read on.
My house shall be built in it.
Read that again.
My house shall be built in it.
His house shall be built in it. But how? Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Hold that precept. Let's go to Proverbs 24 and verse 3. How shall the Most High God's house be built? When brothers and sisters are building on foundations, this is always the catalyst for it, man. The foundation that you need. Proverbs 24 and 3.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 3. Through wisdom.
Through what?
Through wisdom.
Through what?
Through wisdom. Is an house built.
Through wisdom is a house built. What's the precept for wisdom, brother Hosea? The precept for wisdom. Remember, I expect rules that have been here for a couple of years to be on it. To be on it. Y'all know how captains, officers, hey, brothers is always quizzing to see if brothers and sisters are retaining what you are learning, or if you are going back over the precepts. What you got, brother Hosea? Help him out, brother Daoud.
Proverbs 1:6.
Let's jump over. Let's get that right quick. What is wisdom according to the Bible? You get that, read that out.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
Remember, even what the captain's been teaching y'all in Cap 101, you want that precept that's going to hit that thing out of the park. Yeah, you know, that's going into what it does afterwards. What you got, brother Lance? What you got, Ehud? Let's get that. Brothers got to know that, man. I'm going to tell you, man, when brothers don't know that, brothers is not taking good notes. And I know that because while we're literally giving class, I'm looking at brothers and sisters to see if they're writing it down. For real, we always write, man. We'll never trying to let any damn precept escape us. I ain't gonna even lie. Even when I'm at work, I'm on my phone listening to the precepts. I'm doing my work. Sure, I go drop what I'm doing to go get a pen and a pad to write down that precept for that thing escape me. Barrington, my slip. What are you doing? None of your damn business. You'll know when I come back. I gotta write this thing down. Why you always got the pad flip down? Because I don't be wanting you to have notes, taking them at work, Esau the devil. You have to flip that thing over so they can't see it, man. You have to flip it over. You have to be wise on that thing, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, the work don't stop, even at work, man. Because y'all have to use that to stay in the spirit, but we tell brothers to do what? Use wisdom. So, Captain, we always trying to write down. Most like God put something on our spirit, we write that thing down, man, so that precept don't escape you. Read that right quick, God.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statute and judgment, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do so.
That ye should what?
That ye should do so.
Read on,
in the land, whether you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them.
Do what?
Keep therefore and do them.
Read on.
For this is your wisdom.
For this is our what?
For this is your wisdom.
Read on,
and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
In the sight of the nation. So keeping the law, statutes, and commandments is a what? Our wisdom. That's what God's house should be building upon. That's what brothers and sisters should be building their temple and their house on. Because on a deeper level, that's what the building it really is. We are the city, we are the building, we are God's temple, man. That's what it should be building on. And guess what? I'm gonna ask brothers again after class if they got that thing. Shout out, brother Hosea, so be prepared. Go back to Proverbs 24 and 3 again.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 3. Through wisdom is an house built.
Read on,
and by understanding it is established.
And by understanding it is established. Now that part you can do what? Precept with Proverbs 4 and 7. That second part go exactly with that. Brothers have to understand on how to link up the precepts. Read on.
Verse 4. And by knowledge.
And by what?
And by knowledge.
What is knowledge, twin?
Malachi 2 and 7.
All praises, man. Like I say, brothers don't need to try to prove the captains. I know that. Nah, we don't know. We giving you that litmus test in class. That show us where brothers is growing at, man. So you don't have to put that out there. Hey, look at me. No, hey, your knowledge and your understanding is going to let your light shine. Read on.
And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled.
And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled. Read verse 4 again.
Verse 4 from the top. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled.
Chambers is also going into the building. Read on up.
With all precious and pleasant riches.
With all pleasant and precious riches, man. That's something for brothers and sisters to meditate on. Go ahead, Al.
And like Ark is going into, especially going into the wisdom. What good is having wisdom if you don't apply it? What good is having knowledge if you don't apply it? You can have all the knowledge in the world and don't apply it. You still a damn fool, man. Right? Go to Job 28:28 right quick. Well, precept brothers be pulling all the time, man, but it's a good precept, man. Right? When we get there, I'll just read it.
The book of Job, chapter 28, verse 28.
Right, read.
And unto man he said.
He's talking to a man. So it's going into a man and a woman, right? Read.
Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom.
That goes into keeping, because if you fear the Lord, that means you're going to keep his commandments. That means you are working in a frame of mind of keeping God's commandments. Because if you fear the Lord, that means you're showing respect unto his word, right? Read.
That is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding.
And then when you do, guess what? That means you fully fledged into putting forth your action towards the Lord, man. It's showing your wisdom and your understanding, man, is in one accord, man. Because that's what's good having wisdom and understanding if you don't apply it. So the brothers got to make sure they lock in on that wisdom and understanding. That's how, like I can say, that's how you build up your house, man. You can't build your house up if you don't have that wisdom, right? And understanding. Go ahead,
Hold on, Lord.
Go ahead.
Go back, let's read that same one again. I want to get some more out of that, if you don't mind. No, Proverbs
24:3.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 3. Through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it is established. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
Okay, let me ask y'all something. What does that sound like when it says pleasant riches?
Blessed. That blessings on your life.
Okay, remember, and I'm gonna show you something else too. Remember, we always pull this verse, so y'all can mark that down too. Go to Revelations 2:9 to explain them, because a lot of times when you say it, they say, "I know thy poverty and tribulation, but thou art rich." And see, they be like, "Well, they rich," but see, that's where we get the riches from, the knowledge of this Bible. Go back. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
And poverty. Then it stops right there. Then it got a quote, what are those things? Not the comma, but the quotation. No, it's parentheses. It's got it in my Bible. It probably don't have it in a lot of other ones, but it's saying right there, but it's letting you know, but thou art rich, because it just said poverty, right? But how, we in poverty, we can see that physically. But how are we rich? And that's what he just read in back here in Proverbs. And read that again.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So they don't have the knowledge and the wisdom of the Bible. That's why they got to go with the other books that they done made up, the Talmud and the Kabbalah, because they don't have it. And the Most High only gave this Bible, the Word of God, to who? That's why we rich. And you go back there.
Let's go back to Zechariah. Now, matter of fact, let's keep reading on that Proverbs. Like I said, another year.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 5. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength.
Read that part again.
For a wise man is strong.
Is what?
Is strong.
So brothers and sisters have to be strong in this truth and not be wavered when doctrines come up or when it don't fit your lifestyle. Like we say, the Most High God is deliberately taking us through those things to do what? To build us up for these last days. Because like how we keep bringing out, even like what Oxnard was going into, even kept Jerubbaal last week going into Jacob's trouble. A lot of times brothers and sisters don't understand how serious that is going to be, man. And if remember, these are litmus tests for that particular type of test. If you can't deal with the little minor little setbacks and afflictions that the Most High God is putting us through right now, how the hell are you going to be able to deal with Jacob's trouble? And this is something that brothers and sisters must contemplate on a day-to-day basis. If you can't be in order with your wife or with your husband doing minor little conflicts, what is it going to do? Are you going to run when SHIT really hit the fan? When he's giving you straight instructions on what to do in that time and on how to move, or you going to be combative, argumentative with him? No, we need a sister that's going to be submissive unto her husband, man. That's going to, guess what, jump at these things. And this is something that brothers and sisters must be strong in the Lord on, man. Read that again, huh?
A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength.
And that's how you increase strength, by what? Being a man or a sister of knowledge, man. Knowledge is the commandments, man. That's how you increase strength. That's how you grow in this truth. Read on.
Verse 6, for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war. And in multitude of counselors there is safety.
So not only does these things trickle down, guess what? Like we say, it trickles down ultimately to counsel. And these are things that brothers and sisters also need to increase in as well, man. Wisdom, knowledge, strength of the law, and in counsel. Like we say, that's what builds a strong nation, brothers and sisters, man. You got somebody? Go ahead.
Let me get a precept. Let's go to 2 Corinthians, man. Y'all should know this, chapter 4. We'll start at 17. Because like I said, man, when Jacob's trouble comes, if we can't grasp these minor, light afflictions right now, how in the hell are we going to make it when Jacob's trouble really hit the scene? That's why the Lord is trying to test us right now, man. He's trying to set you up.
That's right.
I brought a great precept out of my class, man, at Acts 5 and 41. You ought to be happy that the Lord is using you to suffer for him, man. Just for you to be suffering, man. Because that is going to build you up. But if you can't take these light afflictions right now, how in the hell you going to take this when Jacob's trouble really hit the fan, man? Where your Bible at? Who you serve? If you tell them you serve the Most High God, they shoot you. Right? You just don't know how things are hit, man. 4 and 17, 2 Corinthians.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17. For our light affliction.
The Most High God called it light affliction, man. Stop playing. Like I always say, we always say this. Brothers, what? Gird up your loins, man. Sisters, gird up your skirts, man. Go through these light afflictions, man, and handle them, man. Take control of these light afflictions, man. Don't let them get to you. Don't always let something get you down. I tell everybody, man, I always think of a positive situation out of every negative, man. Out of every negative, it's a positive. Even if it ain't nothing to look at positive, it's still positive because the Lord put me through that affliction. Right. We know that now. We know that. But if you can't handle these light afflictions, man, which the Lord called them, because who went through the heaviest afflictions, man? Come on, man. And who was our example? Yahushua, man. Come on, man. We ain't go through nearby as much ridicule and injustice as our king did. Read this again, man.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17. For our light affliction,
read,
which is but for a moment.
It's only for a moment. Come on, Israel. Let's do it, man. Read.
Worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
It says works for you a much more exceeding weight of eternal glory, man. It's working on you for a way greater cause, man, which is the kingdom, man. Read.
While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
When you go through your afflictions, don't look at it for what is happening. Go through it for what the end game of it will be.
That's right.
If I pass this test, if I pass this situation, if I get through this affliction, What's the end game? Read it.
For the things which are seen or temporal
Or what?
or temporal
Not they forever.
or
They
temporal,
only for a moment. Now read it.
but the things which are not seen are
The
eternal.
things that are not seen, that's eternal. What you don't see out of your affliction. You got to start thinking in the spirit. Always being in the spirit. That's why we always say, stay in the spirit, huh? All right, I got to get told stay in the spirit too. All right, we always got to look at things like that because the things that are not seen, that's what we need to be seeing out of our affliction. Well, go ahead.
Keep reading. It's the spirit, man. It's precept.
Praise.
We said I wasn't gonna bring it out. Most High God compelled that thing to bring it out.
All praise.
Read it up. 5:1. Yeah.
2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1. For we know that of our earthly house on this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of God.
It said of this tabernacle, let you know that what? It's going into our bodies. Read on up.
We have a building of God,
We have a building of God. Read on up.
a house not made with hand, eternal in the heaven.
And that's the kingdom. That's literally what we're out here working and building for those new spiritual, more powerful bodies, man, to where it won't be subject to sin or to hurt or to backs and pains and knee aches and so forth. That's what guess what? That's what literally what we're building for, man, that eternal kingdom. And brothers and sisters must be in the mindset of that, man. I'll praise that I read that, man. Let's go back to Zechariah. The book of Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 16 again from the top.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 16. Therefore, thus said the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercy. My house shall be built in it, said the Lord of hosts.
So it's talking about the second temple, and it's also talking about on the spiritual level, our temple, our bodies. Read on up.
And a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem.
Read on up.
Verse 17, cry yet, saying,
Meaning speak unto the people. Read on up.
thus said the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad. And the Lord shall yet comfort Zion.
And shall what up?
And shall yet choose Jerusalem.
Now, brothers should obviously know that precept, man. What's the precept to that bottom half? See if brothers is in tune with it. What you got, Brother Donovan? Isaiah 14 and 1. Read that right quick. And shall yet choose Israel.
The book of
That's
Isaiah,
right. Go ahead.
the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
And will yet choose who?
And will yet choose
And
Israel.
will yet choose all nations.
And will yet choose Israel.
Throughout the scriptures, you're constantly seeing it be reiterated, man. The Most High God is only choosing the nation of Israel, man. But we just laugh, man. Christians, I'm gonna tell you, man. Christianity is a hell of a drug, man. That thing is a hell of a drug, man. Read on up.
That's spiritual crack.
Boy, it is. It really is, man. Read on.
And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
No, the Balfour Declaration will.
And set them in their own land.
So if they were not set, we talking about the small hats. We have to use coded words like how they use. We use dog whistles up in here too, like how they use for our people in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and even today. Read on.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Read on. Huh?
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Read on.
And the people shall take them.
Shall ask them.
Shall take them.
Read on. Huh?
And bring them to their place.
Read on.
And the house of Israel shall possess them.
Shall what?
Shall possess them
Read on. Huh?
in the land of the Lord. For my servants and handmaids.
We didn't write that, man. It was written in the Bible before we was even thought about, man. Right. Let's go back to the book of Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 18.
That's why I can't see how a brother can invite them into their congregation. Brother, again, if something's going on, brother, blink twice, brother. Please, bro. Throw us a sign, man, a bone, man, please. A smoke signal or something, man. Hey, you see how the incense burning and the smoke coming up, hey, get a blanket or something and fan it a couple of times, whatever you gotta do, man. God dang it.
I know we laugh and joke. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm like Dr. Umar. I'm laughing, but it ain't funny. We laughing, but that thing really is sad, man. Because I mean, scriptures, even if you're trying to go, it's more simpler scriptures in the Bible that's literally telling you those things, man. Separate from these nations. Throughout the history, even when you read these things, whenever we joined ourselves amongst these other nations, they always did what? Came in and destroyed us. Because they always knew that we were God's chosen people, and God always had us in favor over them. You think they literally want that to happen? No. They're in there to infiltrate, to break down, and to destroy. Let's go back to Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 18. This continues from the vision.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 18. Then lift I up mine eyes, and saw, and behold, 4 horns.
And saw, and behold, 4 horns. Do any brother understand the meanings of horns in the Bible? What you got, Junior? Say it again. Not in this case. Any brother. It represents power and strength. So you literally have to break it down even more, because some brothers may be thinking it's talking about a horn. No, this is talking about the horns, not a blowing horn, but the horns of an animal. Think about the attributes of a Capt or of a bull. His horns does what? Protect. They protect, they offend, they attack, and they protect. So think about these things. This is the Most High God giving us a similitude, comparing these to these 4 types of nations. Let's get that right quick. Let's go to the book of Psalm 78 and verse 2 to show how the Most High God does what? Speaks in parables and in similitudes. So a lot of times, brothers and sisters, Christians, oh, 4 horns, they just blowing the shofar. No, that's not what this is talking about, Esau. And we want them to keep believing it and knock yourself out with that. Like I said, that's right. We laugh at ourselves. That's the wrong as hell.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 2. I will open my mouth in a parable.
In a what?
In a parable.
So this is the Most High God doing what? Comparing one thing to another. Read on.
I will utter dark sayings of old.
And this is also a dark saying. A dark saying is something that's hard to be understood. Even like how we talk. Esau can't understand our slang a lot of the time. They're like, huh, what? We just be laughing at them. They can't understand it. Similar to what the scriptures is saying. Let's go back to Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 18 again.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 18 from the top.
If we're going too fast, raise your hands. We'll slow it down a little bit. You get there, read that off.
Then, Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 18. Then lift up I, then lift I up mine eye, and saw, and behold, 4 horns.
4 what?
4 horns.
So even like we were saying, horns are representations of strengths. Let's get some precepts on it. We're going to get a lot of precepts. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 17. Horns are as representation of strength and power. Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 17.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 17. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock. And his horn.
And his what?
And his horns are like the horns of unicorns.
Are like the horns of unicorns. In this context, what is a unicorn that it's talking about? A rhino. Think about how powerful a rhino is, man. I know, but we be laughing to death, man. Y'all see the clips of Esau in Africa, man. That rhino and that they trying to pit him. He come up and knock the whole damn truck over. They're the teacher, man. They're showing you how powerful a rhino is, man. Think about those Cape buffalo when those lions are trying to take him down and he's getting gored with those horns. The lion knows to stay away from those horns or he could be killed, man. That is strength and power, man. Read that again.
The Deuteronomy 33:17. His glory is like the firstling of his bullet.
Now, in this context, who is it talking about? It's talking about Joseph and Ephraim and Manasseh. Jump up to verse 16.
Verse 16. And for the precious things of the earth, and fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph.
Of who?
Of Joseph.
Read on up.
And upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren.
Uh-huh.
His glory is like the firstling of his bullet, and his horns are like the horns of unicorn.
Uh-huh. Read on.
With them with them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth.
Read on.
And they are the 10,000s of Ephraim,
Uh-huh.
and the thousands of Manasseh.
And the thousands of Manasseh. Brothers, write this down. This is going into what? 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40. Most High God literally put it on Ephraim's spirit to push them over here to the Americas. That's for another subject, but I want brothers and sisters to have that. The main point that we want is going into what? The horns, on how they represent what? Strength. Let's get some more precepts. Let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 6 and verse 13. Go ahead.
Well, I want to touch that unicorn right quick.
Go ahead.
Just like what I was touching on, like the strength of the unicorn. That's how the Lord even look at us on the strength. Watch this before we go to Amos. Go to Numbers 23 right quick. Numbers chapter 23 and verse 22. When you get there, I'll just read it.
The book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 22. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob.
23 and 22.
The book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
God brought them out of Egypt.
So he said the Lord brought us out of Egypt, right? But read it.
He had, as it were, the strength of a unicorn.
See, and then it goes into the horn. What is the strength of the unicorn? It's his horn. The same thing what I was talking about. And that goes into what I was touching on, the strength of the unicorn, going through his horn, right? That's what I got on there.
Make sure, brothers, write that down. That's a great precept, man. Like we say, showing ain't nobody's strength compared to the Most High, man. So, brothers and sisters, make sure y'all write that down. Numbers 23 and 22. Make sure y'all put that in your notes. Horns signifying strength and power. Like we say, we'll slow it down and make sure brothers and sisters get it. But like we say, this also shows due diligence by you. If you miss something, you should always do what, brothers and sisters? Do what? Say it again. That's right. Go back and watch it again. That shows your due diligence. Like I say, for things that you want to understand on a great level, you have to watch these things multiple times, man.
And even like I was saying too, I'm going to say something to you brothers too, and to you sisters. We'll be out on the streets teaching, right? And guess what? Say for instance, one of the brothers teaching or one of the captains teaching, right? And he started going into something that like I done read, but I ain't really trying to touch on, but he going into something, I'm like, dang. So say for instance, I go into a subject. Say for I go into a subject on the street and I'm teaching a brother, edifying a sister, whatever. And one of the captains here like, dang, well, that was a good precept right there. Guess what? By tomorrow morning, he'll know what I went into. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's the same way that we do for brothers. Guess what? We hear brothers out here teaching on the street. Guess what? By tomorrow morning, I know what he's talking about. Because I'm going to go home and I'm going to study. I'm going to do my due diligence on how to get on what this going into. So this is how brothers need to be picking up on it. If you see something in class today and like, dang, you kind of baffled on it, go home and study on it. Go back and read and go back and watch the class. Now when you go back and watch the class, oh, I got it now.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Let's go to Amos chapter 6 and verse 13.
The book of Amos, chapter 6, verse 13. Ye which rejoice in a thing of naught.
This is literally Amos prophesying against the northern tribe. When you jump up to verse 1, really the whole chapter. Amos is going at their behinds, man. And they didn't want to hear it. Read on.
Ye which rejoice in a thing of not.
Our people rejoice in the thing of not, meaning the strength of the other nations. Read on now.
Which say, have we not taken to us horns by our own strength?
By our own what?
By our own strength.
So we can see how they're always comparing horns in a lot of aspects, not all the times, because sometimes when you read about horns being blown, it can literally mean what? Horns. So you want to make sure that brothers and sisters understand discernment, or pray for discernment before you go into particular things. And ask the Most High God for what? For wisdom. Read that again from the top out.
The book of Amos, chapter 6, verse 13. Ye which rejoice in a thing of not, which say, have we not taken to us horns by our own strength?
They're taking the horns by our own strength. No, our strength is what? The Most High God. Even just like how Ox said, we should be taking hold of the Most High God's horns, which is the strength of a what? Of a unicorn, man. Man, just think about it, man. What beast do you know can stand in front of or would stand in front of a rhino? Nobody, man. Thing skin 5 inches thick, man. Thing is literally like a tank, man. You say you ain't trying to see no rhino, man.
And can swim.
Yeah. That's for brothers and sisters that watch the History Channel, man. Y'all kind of got to get into that thing, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Go ahead.
I was just saying, but that lion will show try. Here's what that lion represent. That's right.
That's right.
We gonna try. Damn,
I
Ryan.
see that look on Benaniyah. Yeah, try.
Psalms chapter 75 and 10. But even like I said, there's a lot of things. But you know what helps them take it down? Say it again. They work as a team. Even when you read the book of, what is that, Proverbs 30, it talks about the line and the attributes of animals. You know, a lion don't turn away from any, man. Matter of fact, let's get there right quick, man. We just got to get it for edification. That thing don't turn away from any, man. Showing you the attributes of Christ as well, man. He ain't turning away from any. Proverbs 30 and verse 30.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 30.
This goes into the spirits of animals. Read on up.
A lion.
A what?
A lion. Which is strongest amongst beasts.
Which is strongest amongst beasts. Read on.
And turneth not away for any.
And turneth not away from any. They ain't gonna back down if they got the numbers on their side, man. Let's go back. Let's go to Psalm 75 and 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 10. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off.
Meaning all the strength of the wicked, the Most High God is going to cut off. Read that again from the top, book, chapter, and verse.
The book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 10. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off.
Read on.
But the horns of the righteous shall be exalted.
But the strength of the righteous, we going to be exalted, man. So you see how the Most High God compares these horns to what? To strength and to power. We see if brothers is in the spirit, man. What precept in the New Testament can we go to? Because I know a lot of times brothers may think that we only apply scriptures in certain aspects, but scriptures can be applied in many aspects. You have to watch for key words that are in the scriptures. Let me see if brothers is in the spirit. What you got, Donna?
Luke 1:69.
You're in the spirit, Doc. You're in the spirit, man. That's the spirit that we want all brews to be in, man, to be thinking like that, man. One mind, man. Real one body, man.
Not anybody, but they don't went from one body to anybody. Right?
Then we're gonna be shooting shots, man. We love
There you
them
go,
brothers
right.
going the hell off, man. We just brothers and sisters have to put it in how we feel. That literally was our elder. It's like us saying we ain't got no daddy. I ain't got no daddy, man. And we ain't got no elder now. And everything it's sad to see, man. I ain't gonna even lie. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, hey, how brothers feel. We take that thing kind of personal, but we also understand, hey, it's the work of the Lord. And that is as an example for brothers and sisters that go down that path. You can be the same way, man. Take it, slap up out of this truth and be drawn back. Read this,
The
Yeah.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 1, verse 69. And hath raised up an
Start at
horn.
verse 68.
Verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel,
Uh-huh.
for he hath visited and redeemed his people,
All people.
his people,
Read on up.
and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us.
Who is that horn of salvation being raised up?
Right.
Christ. Christ is that strength. Christ is that power that's being raised up for us. Read on up.
In the house of his servant David,
Read on.
as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets,
Uh-huh.
which have been since the world began.
Read on.
Verse 71, that we should be saved.
That we,
Yeah.
you want to home in that point, that we, who? The Israelites. That we, read that again up.
That we should be saved from our enemies
Read on up.
and from the hand of all that hate us.
Because all these nations hate us, man. Like how we're gonna go into now. Let's go back to Zechariah. So those are, and there's plenty more precepts that brothers and sisters can write. Jeremiah 48:25, Psalms 89:17, 1 Samuel 2:10. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go back. Yeah. I hear you back there. Jeremiah 48:25, Psalms 89:17, 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 10. Brothers and sisters got it? Con? Let's go back to Zechariah. Chapter 1 and verse 18 again from the top.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 18. Then lift I up mine eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem.
It says, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. So brothers should have a pretty good idea of what these horns signify. Do any brother know? Specifically, captivities. Who scattered Jerusalem? When it talks about scatter, what does it mean to scatter a nation? To separate, to put them in what? In captivity. Nations over here, nations over there. What nations did that? All of them really, but in this context. Go ahead. Keep going, Brother Dunham.
The Babylonians, the Assyrians, and I think the Egyptians separated. The wheels already there.
Remember, you want to think in the time of the context as well. Now, I'm going to tell you, that can be tricky too. I know we captains, we done talked about this thing. So that thing can be tricky, but it does give us a hint within it. What you got, Brother Jude? What you say? You have to know the specific order. It's a order. What you got, Brother Fred?
Egypt.
He just said the same thing. Let's just read it. Keep reading up.
Verse 20. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters.
Read verse 19 again.
Verse 19 from the top. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem.
It says, which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. So the first thought would be the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persian and Mede, and the Greeks. But then it gives us insight on what is really kind of going into as well. Keep reading now.
Verse 20. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters.
4 what?
4 carpenters.
So after these nations scattered and destroyed us, the Most High God does what? He showed us what? 4 carpenters. Now, scholars debate these things. You know, they really don't know the answers. But we do understand that, guess what? It's not literally what? 4 carpenters. That this is just a number signifying what? Completion. Because whenever we go into captivity, the Most High God does what? He uses multiple prophets to do what? Raise us back up, or to build us back up after these nations done destroyed us. So those carpenters come in, destroy the doctrines that we done learned, and do what? Build us back up with God's law, statutes, and commandments. Brothers and sisters, understand that? So read verse 20.
Verse 20, and the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then said I, what come these to do?
Uh-huh.
And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head.
It says, these are the horns which have scattered Judah. Did it talk about Israel of the northern tribe? So that's the key right there. Let you know what nation scattered Judah.
The Greeks, the Persians, the Assyrians, and the Babylonians.
Not the Assyrians. He was off one. So what is it now, since y'all done got a chance at it? The Babylonians, the Persian and Medes, the Greeks, and the Romans.
God dang it, I wanted to say it bad too.
Do y'all see that? Because it's literally just showed you that it was going into what just southern kingdom. Read verse 21 again.
Verse 21 from the top. Then said I, what come these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head.
So that no man lift up his head to do what? Fight back. Read on out.
But these are come to fray them.
But these are come to fray them. Who is the these? The 4 carpenters. Or these men of understanding that the Most High God does what? Build up, or raise up to do what? Build us back up. Read on.
To cast out the horns of the Gentiles.
So now that answers what? Verse 18. These 4 horns are what? Are Gentiles. Going into what? The Babylonians, the Persian and Medes, the Greeks, and the Romans. Read on up.
Which lift up their horn over the land of Judah to scatter.
And they lifted up their horn or their strength over the land of Judah to do what? To scatter it. Let's go to the book of Proverbs to show you that we know that these numbers are just numbers of completion, because we're going to go through it. Even within that, like we say, you had Ezra being rose up. You had Nehemiah being rose up. You had Mordecai being rose up. They were in the same captivity. You have what? The Maccabees being rose up. Then you ultimately have who was rose up in the Roman captivity. Say it again. Hey, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, man, being rose up. And it's not a coincidence that his occupation is a what? Carpenter. Read this right quick. Oh, Proverbs, like, yeah.
And what do carpenters do?
Break down.
So what's the ultimate word of what they do? They go to what? Work.
That's right.
Works. I mean, there's got to be some work to be done, man. Right?
So we see in the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, ain't gonna lie, Proverbs chapter 30 is a heavy chapter. You get there, Proverbs 30 and start at verse 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 15.
This is a precept showing you that the number 4 is not just always the number 4. Think about it. Even how we talk. This is like hip talk. How do we tell our people? Brother, I ain't seen you in a minute, brother. Do that mean we literally ain't seen a brother in 60 seconds? No. Brother, I ain't seen you in a minute. 60 seconds, brother? No. This is just slang and hip talk, man. And it's the same way. This is how you know that the Bible is our book, man. That's why when they get the Bible, they really don't understand it at all. Read that up.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 15. The horse leech have 2 daughters, crying, give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied. Yea, 4 things say not, it is enough.
It says there are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, 4 are not enough. Similar to our people saying, brother, I'll be there around 5 or 6. Does it mean he's coming at 5 or 6? You know how Israelites do.
11 o'clock.
So we see this, like we say, these are just numbers of completion. Read on up.
Verse 16, the grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough.
Read on up. Jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18, there be 3 things which are too wonderful for me. Yea, 4, which I know not.
It says there be 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yea, 4 which I know not. Read on up.
Verse 19, the way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock,
the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, in the way of a man with a maid.
Jump down to verse 21.
Verse 21. For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and for 4.
And for what?
And for 4.
We don't know.
Which it cannot bear.
Which it cannot bear. So you see this instance of the Most High God always doing what? Using 3 or 4. These are just numbers of completions, not literally saying that it's just 4. Because we literally named 4 prophets. Let's go back to the book of Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 20 again from the top.
And like I'm not, well, we got to make it plain to the people. Just like he's saying, he's like saying it to the point. 3 things, and damn sure not 4. Y'all understand that? That's what he basically going into saying, right? That's to try to put it in. If people didn't understand it, put it in layman terms.
That's right. To make it plain, even like I said, read Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 20.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 20.
And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then said I, what comes these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them.
These are come to fray them, meaning to take them down. Even when it talks about us spraying away the birds, meaning to scatter them away, to get our people back in a right mindset. Let's give examples of these things. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2 and verse 18. So we know that Nehemiah was in what captivity? The Persian and Medes. Zechariah was also in what captivity? Persian and Medes. So we know that the Most High God definitely was dealing with Zechariah, and we know he was definitely dealing with Nehemiah, and he was dealing with Ezra. So that's already 3. That lets you know that it literally can't just be 4, because we also know that ultimately Christ is one of them too. So it's just used as a number of completion. You get that, read that out.
2 and 8 or 2 and 18?
2 and 18.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 18.
Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me, as also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, let us rise up and build.
Let us rise up and do what?
And build.
And what?
And build.
Even after this, where Cyrus was giving them, guess what, permission to rebuild the temple. What did Nehemiah say again?
Let us rise up and build.
Let us rise up and build. And that's what we should be doing after, guess what, Esau done destroyed us for hundreds of years. That's what we're in the process of doing right now. Doing what? Rising up and building. And we see that the other nations are not going to like that. Even how those Palestinians came at our brothers. I have to be careful with my choice of words. Came at our brothers from WA5. That thing really flicks your damn spirit. I can't lie. Boy, I wish damn Mayweather give us a private jet to fly over there from Camp today. Or we just pray that the Lord teleport us over there like how you did instantly and bring us back, man. Because we want to be out there with our brothers, man. Hey, even like with Moses, man, he seen the Egyptians doing his brother's harm. What did he do? He slew him, man. Like, we're not going to be playing our games about our brothers that's out here on the front lines, man. We don't give a damn what camp you in, man. If you're doing the work of the Lord and keeping the commandments, man, guess what? We stand with brothers, man. We stand with brothers. Read that again, huh?
Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 18 from the top. Then I told them of the hand of my God.
So start up at verse 17.
Verse 17. Then said I unto them, ye see the distress that we are in.
Ye see the distress that we are in. And this is something that, guess what, brothers and sisters have to attribute and bring it up to today. We see the distress that our people are in, man. Dealing with mental illness, dealing with financial instability, dealing with homelessness, dealing with medical problems. Read on, huh?
Ye see the distress that we are in. How Jerusalem lies waste.
How what?
How Jerusalem lies waste.
How the people and our homeland lie waste, man. Read on, huh?
And the gates thereof are burnt with fire.
And the gates, meaning our leaders, are burnt with fire, man. Read on, huh?
Come, And let us build up the wall of Jerusalem.
Come, let us do what?
Let us build up the wall of Jerusalem.
And that's what our job is, to do what? Build up the walls of our people, man. Read on up.
That we be no more a reproach.
A carpenter does what? He builds, man. Read on up.
Verse 18. Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me.
And that's what we want, man. We want the hand of the Most High God to be good upon us, man, so he can profit our hands in doing this work, man. Read on.
It's also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, let us rise up and build.
Let us do what?
Let us rise up and build.
Let us rise up and build. Read on up.
So they strengthened their hands for this good work.
And that's what our people have to do in these days, man. We have to strengthen our hands for this good work, because guess what? This work is good, man. What could you be doing better than doing the work of the Lord, man? Like we say, because when we know that it's great rewards for what we are doing. Give me Deuteronomy. Made me think of another precept.
And that's a good, man, this is a good read, man, Nehemiah. Because if you think about how Nehemiah was doing, did anybody know what Nehemiah was doing when the Lord strengthened Nehemiah's hand to go build a wall? What was his mindset before he built the wall?
Get people in order.
Getting the people in order, but how basically I'm gonna explain it to you because I know it'll probably take too long. So basically, Nehemiah's mindset was to do what? He went out and he went search the wall out. He went roundabout looking at what he had to prepare and what he had to fix. His mindset was set on, okay, then I need to go over here. I need to build this part. I need to go over here. He didn't care about the dangers that he was in. He didn't care about what was round about him. Only thing he knew that the Lord put it in his heart that he need to go build the wall up. So guess what the Lord did? He made every step around Nehemiah to build the wall up. He made the king heart, guess what? He even made the king heart say, you know what? I'm going to grant him access and everything to this wall. That's how the Lord do when you ready to build with the Lord. He make everybody else around you and yourself. You don't go to work to do good works for the Lord. Right?
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 7. Because this is one of the blessings of Judah, man. Let me say all praise to the Most High. That guess what? The Most High God put it on Judah's spirit first to do what? Do this work to raise up our people to do what? To inspire them to build, man. This is a blessing, and this is the spirit that we have. Get there, read that out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah.
The what out?
The voice of Judah.
Read on.
And bring him unto his people.
Deuteronomy 33 and verse 7 again from the top.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 7. And this is the blessing of Judah.
Read on.
And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah.
Hear, Lord, the voice of Judah. Because guess what? Judah will be out there on the forefront doing what? Speaking the words of the Most High. To do what? To compel our people to change their lives. To keep the commandments, to repent and have faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. Read on.
And bring him unto his people.
And bring him unto his people. Read on up.
Let his hand be sufficient for him.
What are you doing with your hands? You're building. This is on the spiritual level, man. The Most High God is using our voice as hands to do what? To build up our people, man. To speak his words unto him and compel our people to do the work. Read on.
And be thou an help to him from his enemy.
From his what?
From his enemy.
And that's what we ask the Most High God to do. That's what we pray for brothers out there for WFI. Any brothers that out there put it out all out on the line. Pray to the Most High God that he be a help from us from our enemies, man. Let's get some more. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4 and verse 1.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 1. But it came to pass when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall. He was wroth.
He was what?
He was wroth.
Meaning these other nations, they were pissed off when they start to see us what? Building back again. Even similar to today. That's why you got all different type of campaign against Black Hebrew Israelites. What do we say then? It's Hispanics, Native Americans amongst us. Why do y'all put that on us, man? When we constantly tell y'all that. They say that because they trying to make it seem like the small hats are the original. That's not the case, man. We are Israelites according to the Bible. Hebrew Israelites.
And guess what? And the nation that they going to war with, guess what? They said, no, y'all ain't the, yeah. They saying it. They letting them know that they is Revelation 2 and 9. You know, you gotta be crafty on this mic, man.
Yeah, you do.
But they letting guess what, the Amalekites, they letting them know. Revelation 2 and 9. Right? And that's all praise to the Most High. Their own tongues is falling on them, man.
Keep reading now.
But it came to pass when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, he was wroth.
He was what?
He was wroth
Read on.
and took great indignation and mocked the Jews.
They did what?
And mocked the Jews.
That's what they do today. They hiss and they nag at us. Y'all wearing them things, but y'all not the real Jews. It don't matter. People still see y'all in that mindset. Guess what? As long as the Lord don't see us in that manner, man. Read on up.
And he spake before his brethren and the army of Samaria and said, what do these feeble Jews?
What do these weak Jews, read on?
Will they fortify themselves?
Will they do what?
Will they fortify themselves?
And that means, yes, we will fortify ourselves, man. We're going to fortify ourselves with the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Yes, we will. Read on.
Will they sacrifice?
Will they what?
Will they sacrifice?
Read on, huh?
Will they make an end in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burnt?
It says, will they revive the stones? Remember, we are what? As lively stones in the book of 1 Peter, man. This is twofold. This is literally talking about the building, but on a deeper spiritual level, this is talking about us, man. Read that again, huh?
Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burnt?
Which are what?
Which are burnt?
Because the other nations have burned us up. You know what precept I want? Give me that. I want the one in 1 Peter. But ye are as lively stones. What brother know the precept? Say it again, Brother Fred. Let's get there right quick. 2 and verse 5. All praise God.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also as lively stones.
As lively what?
As lively stones.
And like we say, the Most High God want lively stones, man. He don't want dead stones, man. Like we say, when we come into the Sabbath class, hey, we want to be receptive to his word, man. Come in here with a lively spirit. We want no dead spirit amongst his people, man. Read on up.
Or build up a spiritual house.
Has built up a what up?
A spiritual house.
Read on up.
An holy priesthood. To offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to God by Hamashiach Yahweh.
And that's what we're doing in these last days, building up a spiritual house, man, for the Most High and his son Yahweh. Like I say, the kingdom is within us, man. However long brothers take the bullcorn around, that's however long the Most High God is going to have Christ take, man. Let's go back. Now I want let's go to the book of Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 12.
The book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 12. Be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are coming to Jerusalem, building the rebellious in the bad city.
Building the rebellious and bad city. Read on up.
And have set up the walls thereof and joined the foundation.
Because we know we're going to always have rebellious and a bad city amongst us, man. But brothers and sisters must learn to shake that spirit in these last days, man. Like we say, even like what Aqua said, Captain Yar was saying earlier, if you can't go through light affliction, what makes you think you're going to be prepared for a heavy affliction? That's what these things are to do, to put brothers and sisters in that mindset to, guess what? Push toward the mark in spite of affliction.
That's brothers. I don't know how brothers and sisters think about when brothers having class. do y'all take classes to build upon, or do y'all take classes and just say, you know, I came to the Sabbath class and go to camp? Or I came to Sabbath class, and after that, then I'm going to go home and just drink me a little wine and just not think about nothing in the scripture today. Brothers and sisters are supposed to be taking class and building.
That's right.
Right? And this light affliction that we going through, like I was touching on, do you think Nehemiah, do you think our prophets wasn't going through something? Why you think the Lord said, y'all, we are the generation that killed the prophets? Why do you think that the Lord said that, man? I'm gonna touch it. Go ahead. Let's go back to Nehemiah, man, what I was touching on. Nehemiah chapter 2 and verse 12. Watch how I read. Watch this. When we get there, let's read it.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 12. And I arose in the night.
This is Nehemiah said, I arose in the night, read.
And some few men with me.
And he took a few brothers with him, right, read.
Neither told I any man what God had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem.
So guess what? He said, but this is Nehemiah before he built the wall. This is why I asked the question. He said, I didn't tell nobody what the Lord put in my heart to do for Jerusalem. Because the Lord put this in Nehemiah's heart, man, right? But read.
Neither was there any beast with me.
He said, I didn't take no beast. He didn't bring nothing that was going to secure him. When he's talking about beasts, guess what? That's somebody to warn him. Like, that's what we use animal for. If you got a dog, guess what? A dog hits something way before you know it. Right? He said, guess what? If you got any kind of animal, and it's going to protect you, right? I ain't taking no protection. I didn't give no warning, no nothing to the people that was around me, right? But read it.
Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon.
Just the beast that he rode upon, basically going into a horse, right? But read.
And I went out by night by the gates of the valley.
This is what he did. He went by the gates of the valley, right? Read.
Even before the dragon.
He said, guess what? They had stuff that could kill him, right? He went before the dragons, right? Read.
Even so, like
dragon's will.
The dragon's will. Into the dung port.
Into the dung port, read.
And viewed the walls of Jerusalem.
And guess that's what he did. He went and viewed the walls of Jerusalem. I bet you the people that were around with him, because he said, I never said nothing to them. I just asked them to go. I just told them to go with me. Think about how the Lord doing with us. All the stuff that the Lord knows that the Most High God got for him to do, we don't know everything that the Lord wants Christ to do. We know what he said is in his word. But we got to have enough faith that, guess what, we sticking to the thing because we know the Lord building us up. So we just got to have enough faith, man, right? But read.
And viewed the walls of Jerusalem,
read.
Which were broken down.
Because guess what? This is our nation that's broken. Like I'm touching on, our nation is broke down like mud, man. Right? But read.
And the gates thereof were consumed with fire.
And this is how they doing. They consuming our ass with fire. That means that they not just broke, they burning us down.
That's right.
But the Lord used them, guess what? He used his word to build us up, man. And this is the same thing like what Captain Benaniyah is touching on, man. How he breaking our nation down, then he turned around, building our nation up. Everything that we learn in this truth, guess what? You're not gonna know every precept that come out. You're not gonna know every class that come out. You're not gonna understand every class, but are you building on that foundation? Are you taking what you learning and increasing, or you just taking just another class? Brothers and sisters, you'll be further and further. Guess what? We as a collective group, we're moving forward. But guess what? It's a few people, guess what? It's falling backwards.
That's right.
Right? Because guess what? You refuse, guess what? Like I say, let go of an old man, or you refuse sometimes on your own shyness not to even say something. You might not even know it, and all of a sudden, now you behind. Is that on us or it's on you? No, it's on you.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 24. Because even like to expound upon Nehemiah, Ezra, they laid the foundation. Christ even talked about that. Remember, y'all always want to look at this as a spiritual aspect. Even that great precept Captain Jerubbaal just brought out, when they went and seen the walls. That's similar to us going out there outside of these doors, looking out in the city. The walls is our people, man, and we see our people are literally burnt down, like Ox said, man. So you just gonna stay back and just continue to see them burn, or you gonna get out here in the fight? Guess what? Damn it, we gonna fight, man. Battle Axes gonna fight, man. Read this, Ox.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore,
You said 7:24, right?
yeah. 7 and 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
So you have to be a wise man building your house upon a rock, building your temple upon a rock. That rock is who, brothers?
Right.
Christ. A wise man is a man that does what? Keep the commandments. Read on, Doc.
And the rain descended, and the floods came.
And the rain descended, meaning what? You're going to have different tribulations. This is comparable to doctrine, but you can also apply it in other fashion. Trials, fiery trials, the tribulations. That's what symbolizes with the rain. Read on.
And the floods came.
And the floods came. Different doctrines, different tribulations. Jacob's trouble. Read on.
And the winds blew. And beat upon that house.
And did what?
And beat upon that house.
So guess what? These things could come in and beat upon your house, but if you're not a good carpenter, if you're not building on a good foundation, guess what? These things can tear your behind down, can tear your whole structure down. Read on.
And it fell not.
And it did what?
And it fell not.
Why not? Read on.
For it was founded upon a rock.
For it was founded upon a rock. So if you got a good foundation that's grounded in the understanding of what? The teachings of Christ given to him by Yahweh, guess what? Your house cannot fall. That's why you see that brother doing that video, because he went on a good foundation. Not like how he thought he was. I ain't gonna lie, that thing was a sight to see. You know, because brother used to do some good videos, man. Good video. I'm talking about getting like hundreds of thousands of videos 9 or 10 years ago, man. When YouTube was just hot on the scene, man. Just imagine that. Most High God, I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of times the Most High God raise up brothers, then they cast that brother away. We see that time and time again. You want to make sure that you're not that brother that he's using to raise up to get other people in, and then he's just gonna throw you behind away. You know, I've seen it too many times. You got something like me? Go ahead.
He's a good teacher.
Yeah, he was.
Watched him all the time. That's it.
Let's go back to let's go to Haggai chapter 1 and verse 8.
The book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 8. Go up to the mountain and bring wood.
And do what?
Go up to the mountain and bring wood. And build the house.
And do what?
And build the house.
Read on up.
And I will take pleasure in it.
Most High God is letting us know when we're building, he does what? He takes pleasure in that. Read on up.
And I will be glorified.
And he will what?
And I will be glorified.
Because we got to think about these things. We're building the house so what? So that the Most High God can be glorified, man. Once the Most High God is glorified, then we're what? We're glorified. Because guess what? As us being servants of the Most High God, guess what? That means that the other nations must serve us if they want to serve God. They got to serve us, man. They're going to have to come through us, man. It's a higher order. It's a picking. Read that again, huh?
Go up to the mountains and bring wood and build the house. And I will take pleasure in it. And I will be glorified, said the Lord.
Because who knows what captivity Haggai was in? Persian and Medes, man. So we have Zechariah, we have Haggai, we have a lot of these prophets that are in the same what captivity, showing and signifying that they always did what? Build it up, letting you know that it's not literally just what? 4 carpenters. It's a plethora of carpenters that the Most High God always used to do what? To build our people up in this truth, man. Always. Then it carries on. Let's get the ultimate one, man. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 13 and verse 55 right quick.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 13, verse 55.
I jumped the gun a little bit, but I ain't gonna lie, boy. It's just hard not to. Like, you want to say the best for last, but it's hard to not go into Christ first, man. I can't lie, because I really want to go through the captivities, like you say, with the people that he raised up We gonna touch on others. We gotta get Christ. The reap is our.
St. Matthew chapter 13, verse 55. Is not this the carpenter's son?
Is not this the carpenter's son? This is a cut double ways, showing that guess what? He is actually the son of Joseph. Read on up.
Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and
Joseph,
and Simon and Judas
and who?
and Judas
And Judas. Read on up.
and his sisters? Are they not all with us? Whence then had this man all these things?
So it's literally showing you that guess what? Christ had what? Brothers and sisters. We know in the book of James, that's brothers and sisters do know that's Christ's brother, right? That is Christ's brother. Do brothers know that? Where you get that from, you hood? Get half brother from. Yeah, the book of James. That's right. But this Judas in there is Jude in the New Testament. What that brother say?
He just wanted to get that half, bro.
He doing everything else. He hood boy.
I didn't know Joseph was his father, that's why.
You know who?
Joseph was James' father.
Yeah, read that again now. Read verse 55 again.
Verse 55 from the top. Is not this the carpenter's son?
Who is the carpenter? Joseph. In this context, is not this the carpenter's son? Read on.
Is not his mother
Who
called,
is his mother? Mary. Read on.
called Mary? And his brethren, James and Joseph.
So we know they didn't commit no type of fornication. Joseph didn't step out on Mary. So they got to be real brothers. That's the point right there. Read on.
And Simon and Judas
And Judas. Read on.
and his sisters. Are they not all with us?
Whence then had this man all these things?
So we know normally when you was brought up in the family, you did what? You did what your father did. You carried on that lineage. That's how it went in our times. Your father was a goat herder. Guess what? You became those things. Your father was a carpenter. You took after that trade because you did what? The men learned from their what? Their fathers. So he's literally giving you a trade early in life. Let's get the precept. Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 6 and verse 3.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 6, verse 3. Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph, and of Judah, and Simon? Are not his sisters, and are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him.
So this is literally showing you that Christ is a what? Is a carpenter. That was one of his trades, because guess what? Christ made a living because he kept the commandments. It's in the law for us to do what? A man is supposed to what? Have a job. This is pivotal, man. This shows character. This shows growth. And guess what? You have to be a man to do what? To help build up your family. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4. So we know Christ is the ultimate builder, man. The book of Jeremiah. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7. Chapter 4 and verse 7.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 7.
You know, kind of go at brothers, even at sisters, you know, when class is over with. You know, we want to do all things in decency and in order. Even like what the captains challenge, what Captain Jerubbaal always challenged brothers to read from front to back. So I kind of do this in spite to see if brothers literally are reading. You know, because when you read, you start to understand certain things in the scriptures that the Most High God opened up. Things in context. Read verse 7. So I'm letting y'all know that this is a trick question. You know, he love rules. Read it out.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 7. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way.
Read on.
He has gone forth from his place
to make thy land desolate.
Do any brother know who this is talking about? Thanks, in the context, this is talking about Nebuchadnezzar. But on a deeper level, it's talking about who? Christ. Because Christ is as a representative of a what? Of a lion. And when Christ comes back, real funny, good boy. But when he comes back, guess what? He's going to destroy the Gentiles too. He's going to turn their behinds up, man. That's why you have precepts like what? Isaiah 63. You have what? Revelation chapter 13, verse 9 and 10. You have many precepts showing you that, guess what? Numbers chapter 24. You know, let's get it. Let's just get it, man. Let's go to the book of Numbers. Exactly. Let's go to the book of Numbers chapter 24 and verse 17.
The book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 17.
I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. Just to come a star out of Jacob.
Going into Christ, read on.
And a scepter shall rise out of Israel. It shall smite the corners of Moab.
Read on,
and destroy all the children of Shem.
And destroy all the children of Shem. Read on,
And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiant.
So we see this even in one context where Christ is coming back to turn things up, man.
And even that precept for that star is going into Matthew chapter 2 and verse 2. Right. Make sure brother had it written down beside it.
Let's go to the book of Isaiah 63.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?
Read on,
This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Read on,
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Going into Christ. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Read on,
Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?
So Isaiah is asking him, why is he red in his apparel? Read on.
And thy garments like him that treadeth in the winepress.
Why it look like you've been stomping out grapes? Read on.
I have trodden the winepress alone. And of the people there was none with me.
When you read in the book of Revelation, the winepress is a similitude for the world. Read on.
For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment.
So we see that in that instant that Christ is coming to what? To judge these nations for what they have done to his people. Let's get some more. Let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 1. Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect.
Mine who?
Mine elect.
Read on,
in whom my soul delighted. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
He's going to bring forth judgments to the Gentiles, man. That's what Christ is coming to do. And it's reiterated in what? In the book of Matthew. So I don't understand. These are precepts that brothers need to be able to pull out, showing that, guess what? Hey, these Gentiles, they don't have a chance in hell, man. Let's go to the book of Matthew in the New Testament, reiterating the same thing from the Old. Matthew 12 and verse 18.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 12, verse 18. Behold, my servant, whom I have chosen, my beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased.
Read on,
I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall show judgment to the Gentiles.
Read on,
He shall not strive, nor cry. Neither shall any man hear his voice in the street.
Meaning what? The Most High God would dumb them down to the true understanding. Those that are not of the elect. Read on.
A bruised reed shall he not break. A smoking flax shall he not quench.
Till he what?
Till he send forth judgment Unto victory.
Unto who?
Unto victory.
Until he send forth judgment unto victory, man. Christ said when he comes back, he's not coming to play, man. Hence the title. Let me say a destroyer and a builder. He's gonna have to destroy these nations, then do what? Build us back up. That's what we're going into the wilderness for, to be what? Taught the right way, the correct way, man. Brothers and sisters, I always have to imagine and picture those things being opened up from the time of Genesis. Even before then, man. You can just kind of see those things, opening up our minds to see how we were before the spirit work. Literally showing everything coming together with the elements and so forth, the building of the world. How the Most High God literally had Christ build everything, including us. This thing will be a marvelous thing to see. Guess what? If we do what? If we keep building them. That's the point. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 28. Now, Captain Maccabees brought this out. You have to bring it out again. You know, in this Birth Toast Tuesday class.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost?
That's what we have to do in this truth, brothers and sisters. We must count the cost, man. You count the cost of what? Losing family, friends, maybe losing your job, you know, losing a lot of things. But guess what? If we solidify these laws, statutes, commandments, remember the Most High God got us, brothers and sisters. That's the faith that we are building upon. That's also something that brothers got to build upon, that sisters got to build upon. Your faith. Read on.
Whether you have enough, Salaki, whether he has sufficient to finish.
Whether you have enough spiritual gas in the tank. A lot of times brothers and sisters don't have that. That's what you see with that brother talking about he ain't no Israelite no more. Brother ran out of spiritual gas, man. That's why we tell brothers, even like Captain Maccabees going into, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon, man. You know, you want to literally understand and count the cost, man. Read on, huh?
Verse 29. Lest happily, after he had laid the foundation.
You done laid the foundation. Read on up.
And is not able to finish.
And not able to finish. Think about it, man. Even when I know last time I went to Las Vegas, well, you see so many abandoned buildings in Las Vegas. You had what? Carpenters start to build, but they couldn't finish the job. Think about when we see out here in these houses, man, they done started the foundation, but guess what? They couldn't continue in those things. Brothers and sisters always starting projects are not what? Able to finish those things.
That's a spirit on our people for real.
That's right.
The spirit on our people, they start a lot of stuff they can't finish. Our people, that's a curse, man, the Lord put on us.
That's
man.
right.
They literally start a project that we can't finish, man. But you know, I'm gonna tell you this also. When you look at Nehemiah, what you think he went out to the wall for? To count the cost, man. He literally went out there to count the cost, man. Right? That's what we gotta do. You can't even just start that project. The Lord put something in your heart to do something, and you start a project and you don't finish it. That ain't what the Lord is expecting us to do, man.
That's what you're saying. I want to go back to when he was talking about this in Mark. Let's go to Mark 14:58. We're talking about Yahushua being a carpenter. Let's see what he did, because he's talking about this same topic about him destroying and then building.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 14, verse 58. We heard him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands.
See, when we had a temple that was made by hands, our enemy just came down and always what? Knock it down and burn it up. So Yahushua said, I'm gonna knock that down. I'm gonna build something different in you. Go ahead.
And within 3 days, I will build another made without hands.
So the foundation is set for us Israelites. The only way this temple now can be knocked down, because it ain't made with hands. It's made inside of you. The only way now that temple can be knocked down is you knock it down. Because the responsibility now is on you. That temple that you have now, you are responsible to keep that temple building, to keep that temple growing, to keep the foundation on it as strong as it possibly can be. And that's what he said. I'm gonna knock that building down. So ain't no more excuses. Well, the enemy came and they knocked this building down. No. The one he built and the foundation he was set upon, that's what y'all need to start building upon, which is Yahweh. That's all I got on that.
Let's go back to Nehemiah right quick. I want to touch this a little bit. Nehemiah chapter 4. I just read it. I'm going to read it again to go down a little bit on it. Like it, bless you. When you get there, you can read it. Like Nehemiah started to.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 2. And he spake before his brethren in the army of Samaria and said, what do these people choose? Will they fortify themselves?
Mm-hmm. Will they fortify themselves? Will they what? Start making accommodations for their guys? Start making accommodations for their nation? Right? Start doing what's right, read.
Will they sacrifice? Will they make an end in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish?
And that's what we're trying to do, revive these stones, man, right? Going into Ezekiel, right? We're trying to get these dry bones and make these bones wet again, right? Read.
Which are burnt. Now Tobiah, the Ammonite, was by you.
And you always get the damn heathens by you, right? Tobiah, Ammonite, right by you, right? Read.
And he said, even that which they build.
Even that which they build. See, this is how cocky and confident that the heathens are. Even that which they build, read.
If a fox go up.
If a what go up?
If a fox go up.
And this fox is going into what I can talk about right now, going into a destroyer. If a fox go up, read.
He shall even break down their stone wall.
That destroyer will even break down what they're trying to build up. That's why it's pivotal that we got to build together. We got to build on one accord. We got to strengthen the feeble, right? We're only strong as our weakest counterpart, right? That's why young brothers in the truth, y'all got to get built up right now, because that destroyer will still try to infiltrate us and knock down everything that we done built and put hard work into. See how the Ammonite talking? Yeah, they can build it up. But all it's going to take is a fox, one destroyer, to come in there and infiltrate their butt, and it's going to go right back down. A weak fox, right? So you want to make sure that when we building, man, we building on one accord. We're building together. No man left behind. We understand where our strengths are, we understand where our weaknesses are, and we what? We work on our weaknesses to get those strong as well. Read that one more time, verse 3.
Verse 3. Now Tobiah the Ammonite was by him, and he said, even that which they build, if a fox go up,
read.
He shall even break down their stone wall.
Even break down their what?
Their stone wall.
Now, how can a fox break down a stone wall? Right? Because that means it wasn't built in stone from the first place. Like I said, when we went into what? Building, having a strong foundation. If that foundation was weak from the jump, then it ain't gonna matter. It's gonna be easily infiltrated. It can fall down. So you see that the destroyer can come in at any time and try to hinder our building. That's why Nehemiah told me, what have you to do with us, right? We go build together with ourselves. We don't need them damn Edomites helping us build, man. They are destroyers. They are that fox. Like I said, man, brother, be tripping, man. You want them in your congregation? Hey, foxes, right?
That's right. The blueprint.
That's right.
You need to get the blueprint.
So I just want to touch that right quick, man, to show you that we have to stay grounded and sturdy in our building. We can't take time off. We can't be lackadays in our time. Because I went into Haggai. That's what Haggai was for.
That's right.
They took a long time in rebuilding after Babylonian. Haggai was like, look, man, we done let too many things get into us.
That's right.
And infiltrate our mind, and what we build and slow down. Now it's work, don't what? Don't stop.
That's right.
Right? We ain't dancing, but we working, we ain't stopping. Go ahead,
We're going to get Christ saying the same thing too. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 32. Be the spirit, man. We feed off the spirit, man. Let's see what Christ called these heathen. He named it specifically. I don't see how people, they not read scriptures like these, man. The book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 32.
The book of St. Luke.
No, started at verse 31. Salaki.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 13, verse 31. The same day there came certain of the Pharisees, saying unto them, Get thee out and depart hence, for Herod will kill thee.
For Herod will kill thee. Talking about Christ. Read on.
And he said unto them, Go ye and tell that fox.
What did Christ say?
Go ye and tell that fox.
Go ye and tell that fox. That's the same thing. That's slang for the devil. You go tell that devil what I said. Read on, huh?
Behold, I cast out devils.
He does what?
I cast out devils.
Read on, huh?
And I do cures to the
Hey, Christ saying, you go tell that damn devil, I got work to do, man. I gotta cast out devils and do cures today, man. I gotta heal the people. I gotta build, man. Read on, huh?
I do cures today and tomorrow.
And tomorrow, man. I'm all booked up, man. I ain't got time. Read on, huh?
And the third day I shall be perfected.
And the third day I shall be perfected. So Christ didn't even play the games with them at all, man. He literally called, guess what? Herod was the ruler, the Edomite ruler over our people during that time. And Christ didn't give a damn. He literally called that man the devil, man. Remember, what are the attributes of a fox? They're sly, they're slick, they're cunning, crafty, sneaky. It's not a coincidence that the Most High God attributes that their color is red. I mean, what nation has all those attributes? Things that make you go, I mean, come on, these things should be going off in brother's head for real, man.
I ain't got time to die today, man. I got something to do.
For real. Let's go to the book of Daniel. This stuff I forgot to bring out, man. Daniel chapter 8 is a heavy chapter. We'll go over that in time. Go to the book of Daniel chapter 8 and verse 20. But these are other precepts for horns. It's literally naming you these horns. And I forgot to bring this out here.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 20. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of the Media and Persia. Read on out.
And the rough goat is the king of Greece.
Talking about the Greeks. Alexander the Greek. Read on.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
The first king over Greece was who? Alexander the Greek. The freak, yeah, for real. He ain't saying the great. Read on.
Verse 22.
So make sure y'all put those horns with those in the book of Zechariah chapter 1. Yeah. Read on.
So like verse 22. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up forth. 4 kingdoms.
For what?
4 kingdoms.
Going into those what? Those 4 horns. Read on.
Shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power.
But not in his power. Read on.
Verse 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressions are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
This is going into Antiochus the 4th, but this is for another class. Y'all can write that. Read on out.
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderful.
And shall do what?
And he shall destroy wonderful.
Going into the Feast of Dedication. When they came in to destroy our temple, man, hey, Antiochus Epiphanes wasn't playing. He was destroying wonderfully. Read on, huh?
He shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper in practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
And shall destroy Israel. Read on, huh?
And
that's right. Read on.
And through his policy.
Through his laws that he bring about, what were some of the laws that Antiochus brought up? That you couldn't what? Call yourself a Jew?
Celebrate
everybody. You couldn't celebrate feast days.
Everybody does the same law.
That's right. Everybody be up under one law. Read on up.
Verse 25. And through his policy also shall he cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Meaning mischief. Read on.
And he shall malign himself.
And what you'll say? Malign, magnify. Read that again.
He shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace shall destroy many.
Meaning, because what? Now you want to be agreeable. Even like what they do today. America has destroyed our people. Now they want to say, oh, come in, we accept y'all. Be a Democrat. Be a Republican. All of it is a farce. They don't give a damn about neither one of us, Republican or Democrat. What you got? Go ahead.
And like it touched on, he said, craft shall prosper in his hand. I mean, the nation's going to believe him, man.
That's right.
Not just the Gentiles, but the Israelites gonna believe him too, man. That's the only way it's gonna prosper, because they can make all the rest of the heathens believe what they saying, and the Israelites not believe what they saying, and guess what? He won't prosper. But when he can get Israel to believe him, that's when the prospering start to happen. How you think they can get away with their Christmases and Thanksgivings and all of that? Because guess what? Our people believe it.
That's right.
That's how you make it prosper, man. If it wasn't for Israel, they can't prosper, man. Right? They have to prosper off of Israel, right? Go ahead.
Keep reading now.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Be lifted up by pride. We know that they're a nation of prideful people. Read on.
And by peace shall destroy many.
Read on.
He shall also stand up against the princes of princes.
Read that again.
And he shall also stand against the prince of princes.
Who is the prince of princes? Christ. Why does it say that? When it says that he's the King of kings and Lord of lords, why does it say that? Do anybody know? Because what? Huh? Go ahead.
He's the highest Lord.
That's one of what you can say, Officer King.
I was gonna say because he's the prince of Israel.
That's a truth, but y'all have to bridge them together. He's the King of kings and Lord of lords because we are also what? What do we call? Kings and lords. Do brothers understand that? Even in this context, it's showing you that he's a prince of princes. We're also called what? The prince that has power with God. He's prince of princes, meaning he's the head prince. He's the head king. He's the head Lord. What you got?
Like break down, like Yahweh Shah, man, woman, child. So that shows us right there that he's the Lord of the Lord.
Even in that aspect, but you kind of want to keep it confined to that. You know what I'm saying? To kind of home in the point. Read that again, that last part. What you got, Brother Booker?
Could it be because he's the son of man?
No. He's the, like we say, even when you read in the book of Revelation, you know, one of our titles are, matter of fact, let's get it right quick. Go to the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. That is our birthright. That's what the Most High God have always given us. What you got? That's right. Even into that. That's why he's the high priest. That's right. The high. Read that up.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
A what up?
A kingdom of priests.
We are a kingdom of priests. So if we're a kingdom, meaning kings and priests, and like we say, it's attributed to Christ as being King of kings, Lord of lords. That's the kings that, because think about it, ain't no other kings gonna be compared with Christ. Ain't no other nation of people are gonna be even in rank with Christ. So that's solely attributed to the Israelites. They ain't gonna have a king set up, King Biden with King Yahushua. No, that's why he's the King of kings, Lord of lords. You understand that?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I said it is because how they get the immaculate conception always mixed up.
If you were going into like him being and becoming into the form of a man and being the highest of that form, I understand.
Yeah.
This is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Just like when you go to Genesis chapter 32 and verse 28, just like what I've been touching on, and he said he the prince of the princes, right? It goes into we are the prince. And guess what? He's going to be our king, right? He's the prince of the princes. Go to Genesis chapter 32 and verse 28.
The book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob.
We said thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but read.
But Israel.
Well, Israel, man. This is how we got our name, man. From our forefathers, right? But read.
For as a prince,
read.
has thou power with God.
And that's what our name means. A prince that has power with God. Right? He the prince of the princes, man, right? He the one, guess what? We got power with God, but he's the right hand of God. Right? Going into what I can touching on, man. Read.
And with men, it has prevailed.
He said, have power with God and men and has prevailed, right? This is where it comes from, right? Well, I can touching on, right? Go back.
Damn, I can't think of it. I didn't come back. Let's go back to in Revelation. Let's go to the book of go back to Daniel.
Revelation 5:10.
What it say,
Revelation 5:9.
Read it right quick. Read it. Hold on. Read that, Brother Donovan.
The book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 9, verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests.
Brother Fred, you're in the spirit, Read that again,
The book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests.
Now I'm talking about, boy, my right is the numbers on the right side of Revelation chapter 5 is just gone. So I couldn't see that much. You're in the spirit. All praise to the Most High. Read that again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. It has made us unto our God kings and priests.
And had made us unto our God kings and priests. Not all nations is gonna have that type of what's the word? Higher. They're not gonna have that, man. Let's go back to the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25. Read that out.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Read on.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Read on.
And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes. But he shall be broken without hand.
And that's the part that I want. Also showing you that, guess what? Even in the Old Testament, it was prophesied that, guess what? Christ was going to come and destroy these nations. And he shall be broken without hand. I mean, it ain't going to be nothing to Christ. It's going to be a light thing that he destroyed these nations.
And that goes into the second Ezra.
That's right.
If brothers read, that goes into the second Ezra, right? How the Lord's gonna be speaking the word and doing what? Burning their butts up, man, by the word of the Lord, man.
Broken without hand.
Right.
Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 18.
7, 8. Second Ezra chapter
13.
Chapter 13.
And verse 4 on down. Really, 1 on down.
I think somebody got my dang on the pocket. This ain't mine, boy. Yeah, that's why we traded the pocket. We got mine. I got his. Seems like.
You get to read that out. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 18. By much slothfulness, the building decayed.
Read that again,
Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. By much slothfulness, the building decayed.
So the building decayed by what? By much slothfulness. Brothers and sisters not putting in their bricks. Read on out.
And through idleness of the hands.
Through idleness, by you not putting in the work. Read on out. Sitting on your behind. Read on.
Through idleness of the hands, the house dropping through.
It dropping what?
Dropping through.
It dropping through. And that's something that brothers and sisters must meditate on. We don't have servants and handmaids right now. So it's up to us to do what? To literally do the work. To organize brothers and sisters, to put them in a mindset to do what? To do the will of the Lord, man. Like we say, that's why we need sisters, man. Like we say, we need brothers. We need young brothers. We need the children. We need all hands on deck. Brothers need garments. Hey, we got to set up feast days, high holy days. Go ahead,
I'm just saying, all these works that we see in our forefathers doing, that we see in our forefathers put in, and for Christians to sit up here and think they don't have to do no work. Well, all these great works, man, these hard works that we see, and just in this one class of these carpenters, man. For them to think that we don't got to put no works in, man, that is crazy, man. You got to put in works, man. Those are a lot of works that we see in our forefathers and put in, man, just in this one class. Nehemiah, right? To Zechariah, man. Daniel. Works, man.
Let's go to the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 1.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 1. Then his son Judah, called Maccabees, rose up in his stead.
What captivity was Maccabees in? The Greek captivity. All brothers should be saying that, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, when brothers silent, brothers ain't studying, man. And that's something that brothers have to contemplate, man. Are you reading enough or are you studying enough? You know, because like we say, we're not going over deep things. You know, deep. Well, I'll put it in a sense to where I'm asking you questions that I know y'all should know the answers to. Read on.
Verse 2, and all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness.
So guess what? They fought with cheerfulness, man. They picking up the steed from their father Matthias, man. So guess what? It doesn't stop. Even in this truth, like we say, that's why we literally are building up the children to do what? To take our place. That building don't stop. And that's the mindset that the children must have. Because guess what? Y'all will go through Jacob's trouble too, man. Read on, huh?
The battle of Israel.
The what?
The battle of Israel.
And that's the fight on a physical level and more so on a spiritual level, man. The battle of Israel, man. Are you doing enough in this work, man? Are you fighting the battles and more or less are you winning your battles, man? Read on, huh?
Verse 3. So he got his people great honor.
Read on.
And put on a breastplate as a giant.
And it's spiritual and physical. Because we know, guess what? Maccabees was a warrior. Read on, huh?
And girt his warlike harness about him.
Read on.
And he made battles, protecting the host with his sword.
With his what?
With his sword.
Read on, huh?
In his axe, he was like a lion.
Read on.
And like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey.
Read on, huh?
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burned up those that vexed his people.
He said, for he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burned up those that vexed his people, man. Going into what? Let's go back. Remember, don't forget the thought. Let's go back to Zechariah. These are come to do what? Fray them away.
That line of wealth should be in First Maccabees chapter 3. Y'all should get y'all that line of wealth. Brothers don't know what precept that is, boy.
Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 21.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 21.
Then
said I, what come these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah.
These are the Gentiles. What we just read in Daniel chapter 8, going into what? The Babylonians, the Persian and Medes, the Greeks, and then eventually what? The Romans. Read on.
So that no man did lift up his head, but these are come to fray them.
But these, meaning these carpenters, are coming to what? Fray them. Get them out of here, to destroy them. To do what? To destroy them, their doctrines, and to literally do what? Build us back up. Read on up.
To cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lift up their horn over the land of Judah.
To do what?
To scatter.
So we see in these accounts where we have Maccabees, even going into, let's get another account. Let's go to the book of Esther. With our forefather who? Who we talking about in the book of Esther? Mordecai. Book of Mordecai, chapter 8. I mean, the book of Esther. I'm talking, man, this thing just rolled off the tongue like he literally had a book, man.
Read it. I did too. Hey, man, give me the book of Moses.
Which one, brother? All? Give me the book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 1.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman.
Haman is going into what? An Edomite that sought our destruction. Read on.
The Jews' enemy.
The Jews who?
The Jews' enemy.
Read on.
Unto Esther the queen.
And
Mordecai came before the king.
Read on.
For Esther had told what he was unto her.
Read on.
And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai.
Hey, and I know he snatched that mug off of. Give me that damn ring, man. Read on.
And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
And
Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews.
Read on up.
Then the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, If it please thee, king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the things seem right before the king, and pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters.
To do what up?
Reverse the letter.
To do what up?
Reverse the letter.
Read on up.
Revive. So like devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's provinces.
So we see, and who do you think was behind this counsel? That was Mordecai, literally giving her righteous counsel to do what? To fight on behalf of our people. And this is what, guess what? This is why counsel is needed in these last days as well, man. You have even Mordecai, what you got? Go ahead. In these last days, jump over to verse 17.
Verse 17, and in every province, and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and the decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast, and a good day.
Read on.
And many of the people of the land became Jews.
Became what?
Became Jews.
Read on now.
For the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Now, brothers, what does that mean? What brother can give me an ounce on that, man?
Let's break it down smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're trying to get there, but they became Jews, keeping the commandments like we were.
That's it.
That's it. Meaning we forced them to keep the commandments, man.
Right.
We forced them to keep the commandments because you literally can't turn into a Jew. No.
Right.
Esau is making Jew a religion now. No, Jew is a nationality, meaning we come out of the lineage of Judah. That's what that's going into. No, well, I see what you're saying. We're going to force them in that day. I understand. And you said that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 50.
They became Jews for the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
That's right.
Another reason. Right? And the ocean and they'll put that fear on us. It's time to put that fear back into this world. It comes with God's law, statutes, and commandments. It comes.
Let me get Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 23 real quick. Yeah, Jeremiah. What you doing?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 23. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock.
The what?
The shepherd and his flock.
He will also break in pieces with us the shepherd and his flocks. This is going into what? These pastors out here. It's also our job to do what? To destroy these doctrines of Christianity, man. Because they're what? They're literally the shepherds, and they're over flocks and flocks of what? Of our people. Teaching them things that are not going with the Bible, man. Things that are contrary to what the Bible says. So we can never leave off of that, man. Like you say, as we're spiritually building up, we're spiritually destroying doctrines out here, man. With our people that are being what? Tossed to and fro in these different wind of doctrines. Read on.
I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husband and his yoke of oxen.
Read on.
And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 23 again from the top.
I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen.
Read on.
And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers.
So guess what? The Most High God is going to have us breaking down all these doctrines. That's literally why you're going to see them, guess what? Be pissed off at us to bring about Jacob's trouble. Because the doctrines that they bring up, they're not able to stand. Just think about it, man. Even give a shout out, even just think about it, even with Gorilla Hebrew. This brother has no, what do we say? No. doctrines. Well, he done that either. No praise. But no doctrine degrees, and he literally stood up and defeated a well-renowned scholar. Think about that, man. That thing is heavy, man. That thing is pretty damn tough, man. We talk about a professor that has a doctorate. He's like the foremost leader scholar on Jewish understanding, basically. That's right. Think about that, man. The Most High God is literally using us, man, to destroy these doctors. They can't come up against us. That's something to kind of really think about, man. That's why they literally pissed off when we out there on the streets. Put that Bible down. I want to hear what you got to say. No, we want to hear what the Lord got to say. Read on out.
Verse 24. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of the Chaldea all their evil.
All their what?
All their evil.
Read on out.
That they have done in Zion, in your sight.
In our what?
In your sight.
The Most High God is going to destroy them in our sight, man. Read on out.
Said the Lord.
Said who?
Said the Lord.
Give me Isaiah 58:12. Last precept.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 12. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste place.
Read that again,
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 12. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste place.
And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste place. That's what the Most High God is putting out to us today, man, to build what? The old waste places. Meaning build our brothers and sisters back up, man, by being an example, by being that light. Read on.
Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations.
Read that again,
Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations.
Read on.
And thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach.
The what?
The repairer of the breach.
Read on,
The restorer of the paths to dwell in.
And that's what brothers and sisters should be in the mindset of, man. And with that, we give our honor and praise. We say shalom. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the commandments of the Most High. So we always like to bring out a commandment. Any brother got a commandment? That's the only thing. Show it. Who said that? What you say, brother? Who was that, brother Fred?
Leviticus 19, 4, 1 and 4.
So Leviticus 19, 1 and 4. Let's get that right quick. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verses 1 through 4. Read that right quick.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbath.
And do what?
And keep my Sabbath.
Ye shall fear every man his mother and father. That means what? Have respect to your mother and your father, man. Fear the judgments that they could bring on you. Read on up.
And keep my Sabbath.
And keep God's Sabbaths. These Sabbaths in conference what? All of God's what? High holy days. Upon the Sabbaths lies dedication, lies new moons, lies 7-day Sabbath, lies Passover, lies Pentecost. Read on up.
I am the Lord your God. Turn ye not unto idols.
Do what?
Turn ye not unto idols.
The Bible is telling us, the Most High God is telling us, don't turn to idols. Read on up.
Nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am the Lord your God.
And with that, we say shalom.